Today I was presenting my work in collaboration with IAC on the temperature of beverages, the tea and the other things that we drink in Moshi, in my area where I come from. So we're really looking out on the how much temperature do people drink hot tea, like at what temperatures, and that is the reason we are looking at this is because it has been shown that there is a correlation between how hot you drink your tea or coffee or anything to the development of esophageal cancer. And the biological plausibility behind that theory is that when you drink a very hot liquid, you increase the thermal injury down your esophagus, which slowly can actually cause an atypia, which probably may lead to development of esophageal cancer. The causal relationship is yet to be established, but at least now we know that there's a very linear correlation between the two, between exposure to this risk factor and, of course, and the development of esophageal cancer. The first study was done in Iran, and as I said, it was a correlation of about 100% between a hot beverage of above 60 degrees centigrade and the development of esophageal cancer. What we did in Moshi was really not to look on the correlation. We just wanted to establish a baseline of the temperature at which people drink their tea. And we found that actually people in Moshi drink tea at a temperature higher than any temperatures that have been currently established in literature. So the comparables are US, UK, and Brazil. The closest is in Brazil, where they start drinking their tea at a temperature of about 70, while in Moshi, they start drinking their tea. They are comforted to start drinking tea at a temperature of about 72, 73 degrees centigrade, which is very high. Not, as I said, it has not been established to be a causal relationship, but there is a correlation. There is a linear correlation that the more likely that you drink your tea, then it has been shown to be hand in hand with increased chances of getting esophageal cancer. So we probably cannot tie that to other regions. The reason being, the way we prepare tea back home and the way other settings they prepare their tea is different. So back home, we mix both milk and water together, and we boil it. And then we may actually add sugar in the cooking pot, which gives no time for tea to cool down before we start drinking, as opposed to the setting that you're talking about, UK and Europe and probably US, where they add cold milk after they serve their tea on a cup, which actually really reduces the temperature. But also there's a longer span of drinking the tea, which allows it to cool down. So the time span that we found in Moshi in drinking the tea is an average of 5 minutes to finish the cup. Where else, as you know, in UK, it may actually take longer because people do that while they are doing some work. In Tanzania, people do that in the morning before they do anything else to kind of like get that energy to be able to go to the field or to go to your work. We don't drink tea while we kind of like working. It might be starting now, but the setting that we looked on is actually taking your tea before you kind of like go out for some work. We are really not there yet, but what we are seeing is, what we know now is, as opposed to Iran, we drink where there is a correlation already. A correlation has been established. We know that people in Moshi drink their tea at a higher temperature. The good thing is we've started up a better quality case control study where tea drinking temperature will be part of our ongoing research. And we are going to establish now the more scientific correlation, the more scientific association in terms of odds ratios of how much esophageal cancer would be related to exposure to hot liquid drinking in Moshi. Previous to this study, we had done a previous study where we mapped out a 10-year worth of data of the cases from esophageal cancer. And we found out that there was one area called Machame in Moshi where more cases had come from. So we decided, for this small study that I'm describing, we decided to take the sample of 200 people, subjects, not cases, from that area. And what we did was to select 100 households, and in each household we interviewed 2 people. So we gave out a self-reported questionnaire, and we measured the temperature of the tea. Other things that we investigated were alcohol and smoking, which are already known to be risk factors for esophageal cancer.